welcome to Life with Kate. This is a second video after a very long time. I wish I could say I've gotten better at this videoing thing. I really don't think so, but hopefully I'll be able to continue learning. And it's also the video after the one when I explained what obviously turned out to be a very naive attempt to immerse myself in at least the basics of Tolkien's work and doing all types of crafty and fun things around it within 1 year. The idea originally was to do it this year, 2023, because in September it was the 50th anniversary of his passing. This, of course, didn't happen in some areas. I have been trying, I've been working more than others, some other areas I haven't touched. So what I did was just start from scratch, back to the board, and creating a new plan. Instead of a year with Tolkien, now it would be Life with Tolkien. And of course, when sorting this out, I also had to take into consideration that for at least the upcoming 2 years, I already have a yearly theme I want to also work around. More on that later. So let's see how it works this time. So it would be a year with Tolkien reloaded into Life with Tolkien. So originally we had different areas. The first one was, of course, the reading part, where I planned and still plan to read, starting with The Hobbit. And just with The Hobbit, there are so many things to cover. I have the edition they brought where it was the original version, you know, the version that is like nowadays being printed out for and that everybody knows has had some changes specifically to chapter 5 so that it could match the story that came afterwards with Lord of the Rings. So I do want to read first the original one, then of course the one we currently have, then I want to read it in Spanish, and then I was just remembering there are other options like the Hobbit, the annotated Hobbit, so I don't know, I also want to do that possibly in the future. And when I was rescheduling or redistributing those plans, I noticed that I had originally attempted to do things related to The Hobbit, Lord of the Rings, and possibly also Silmarillion, within that year. Turns out that with the new plan, let's say the extended version of the plan, like the movies, I just covered the Hobbit part without including the reading of the annotated Hobbit, and I got until February 2025. So yeah, doing everything, including Lord of the Rings and the Silmarillion in 1 year, is definitely not so realistic, it seems. I mean, even the one I have right now, let's see how it goes. So for reading, I have divided, this new plan was set up to start everything during the week of October the 23rd, and everything is set up by weeks. So starting October the 23rd, 1 chapter per week. The Hobbit has 19 chapters. So it would be 19 chapters for the original version, 19 for the second one, the one we know, and 19 for the Spanish version. And also, as I go through the chapters, I am going to be watching the movies, both either the theatrical version and extended version, corresponding to English and Spanish. So basically with that in mind, it would be, and I'm sorry, I'm gonna be looking at the side. I have my computer here where I have everything set up. So from what I could find, almost everyone could agree that, I mean, first I'm gonna read just in 19 weeks the original Hobbit. That was starting October the 23rd, 1 chapter per week. I haven't started. So what I will do is, today is November the 5th. So I'm gonna start reading 1 chapter every 5 days until I catch up with where I should be every week, and that should happen by the week of December the 10th, chapter 7. So we're good there. So one chapter a week for the original one. That's gonna give us, just give me a second, up until the week of February the 26th of next year. That's when it will end. Then I would start with the, let's say the current version or the second, the modified version. Also one chapter per week, except I'm gonna get up to chapter 6. And then I'm gonna start, because apparently the first Hobbit movie, An Unexpected Journey, covers chapters 1 through 6. So I'm gonna read chapters 1 through 6 in 6 weeks. The following week I'm gonna watch the theatrical version. The following week the extended version. The next week I'm gonna continue with chapters 7 until I get to chapter 12. If any of you is very knowledgeable in the Hobbit books and movies, some sources say that the second movie, The Desolation of Smaug, covers up until from chapter 7 to 12. Other sources say 7 to 13. Other sources say 7 to 12 and a bit of 13. So I don't know, I schedule it to continue up until chapter 12. Then the following 2 weeks, the 2 movie versions. And then for another 2 weeks up until chapter 19, where I will finish it, the 2 movies for the Battle of the 5 Armies. And then I will do the same with the Spanish version of The Hobbit. From 1 to 6, the 2 versions of the movie in Spanish. 7 to 12, 2 versions of the movie. 13 to 19, and the 2 versions of the movie. That takes us up all the way until the week of February 10th, 2025. And then, of course, seeing how it goes, I will continue with the plan for The Lord of the Rings. As I read the book and watch the movies, I don't know, I was thinking about maybe doing a video, possibly a live, I don't know, on the quotes or the passages that I like the most. I will be combining this with something that I call living the book, which I've been trying to do. You know, when I start reading any type of book, if I find that suddenly people were having tea with strawberry shortcake, then I can try eating and drinking that, not only with The Hobbit, with any book. I can do that here. Or if they were watching a specific movie or doing something interesting, I can do something to kind of like live the same thing. That's where the live in the book comes. I want to do something like that, one thing every week, depending on what I read. And for The Hobbit, I know just chapter 1 has a lot of eating, a lot of food. So I just gave up on the part where I want to eat everything they eat on every week. That's just not gonna be possible. I don't have the time or the ingredients or the capacity to take that much Hobbit food. So it's just gonna be 1 per week, ideally related to the chapter that I just read or the movie I watch. For movie watching, I can cook, so we can take it there. So it'll be reading, movies, living the book. Also cooking goes a bit there. I do want to buy some of the Middle Earth inspired cookbooks. I have seen some of Amazon. I can also get a PDF version, because sometimes getting them to my country takes some time and gets, of course, a bit more costly. But we'll see how we do. So that's how it is encompassed, the reading part with the movies, living the book, cooking. And then for the crafting part, I had 2 major areas, one of them being cross-stitching, embroidery, which is what I do the most in my crafting. Another one would be crocheting and knitting. All right, so this is where I've been able to advance the most. For cross-stitch, for the Hobbit part, I wanted to start by doing this Hobbit pattern that I got of Etsy. I believe this one is not available anymore, but I'm gonna include somewhere the name of the shop just in case the vendor wants to bring it out again someday. In a hole in the ground there lived a hobbit. The most famous first line of the book, for my taste, right? And what started all of the beautiful fantasy Tolkien world. So we have there finished, not fully finished. Okay, I do want to set it up in this hoop. I just haven't officially done it, properly done it, I guess. So sometime soon, I hope. Then also off of Etsy, all of them are off of Etsy unless I mention anything. We have Thorin's map. There we go. This one took the life out of me. There's almost no cross stitching, just backstitch. And then you have backstitching in black with 1 or 2 strands, then red. The text here, the secret runes, this was my first time working with DMC glow in the dark plus. I would show you right now the way it looks, except I can't because this has been put away in a drawer, and you know this is solar energy charged, so it hasn't been charged. Hopefully in the future I will do so and I will show you. That's the second one. All of these projects are done on a Aida 16. That's my go-to fabric for cross-stitching, you know, small medium projects. For big projects, full coverage like Tilton crafts, Heaven and Earth, all of those, I prefer a Aida 18 count. And I've recently just got my first linen, but more on that on later videos. This is not related to Tolkien. I also wanted to do the share in each of the 4 seasons: spring, summer, autumn, winter, and Christmas. Because Christmas. I was successful in finishing spring. Here we go. Summer I didn't finish. I hit a cross stitching right there. Maybe because summer is my least favorite season, so I wasn't feeling up to this. Plus it's basically brown and green. That's it, not much going on in summer. So what I will do is I set up a plan where during each season I'm gonna work on each of them. Okay, I'm gonna tell a bit more about that in a moment. Which means currently I'm working on autumn. Yay! Autumn fall colors. I love them. This is where I'm at. I started this on the week of October the 23rd. For this year, my goal, and I have been able to do it these first 2 weeks, is 1,500 stitches per week. Because again, next year I will be working also some different things. So I lowered it to 1,000 per week for next year. We'll see how it plays out. Okay, so I'm gonna be working on autumn up until the week of November the 27th. Then the week of December the 4th, I'm gonna be working on the Christmas one. I have a very ambitious goal of 2,500 stitches per week. I don't know, I'm already doubting myself. Then starting in January, because it's already 2024 and the new year theme have already kicked in, I'm starting winter on the week that starts January the 1st. I count weeks from Monday through Sunday, so it starts on New Year's Day with 1,000 stitches every week, and from there on, my goal is 1,000 stitches with the Hobbit part. That means that the last week I work on winter would be February 26th, and I should have reached a third of the progress, 9,000 stitches. I am estimating all of them to be around 25,000 stitches counting both the regular stitches, which is around 17,000 each, plus the back stitch. So that's my rough estimate. Then during springtime, in March, I'm gonna start. Remember, spring is already finished. So what I will do is I'm gonna start. I don't know. There are some embroidery hoops based on a Thorin's map and Middle Earth's map, I should say, and there are like 4 of them, different parts. So I might work on that during spring. Then, starting on the week of June the 3rd, I will continue with summer. Okay. Yeah, as usual, 1,000 stitches. Summer here. Up until the week of August the 26th. That would have given me 13,000 stitches plus what I have right now, which I don't recall very well, but that should get me close to finishing it, if not finishing it at least. So then those would continue during 2025. Then I retake autumn, 1,000 stitches per week. From the week of September the 2nd, remember we are already 2024, to November the 11th. That should take me to 20,000 stitches. Remember, my estimation is 25,000. So maybe, I don't know, if I don't get to finish it, I will try and push myself. If not, at least close to a finish as well. Then we go back to Christmas, all the month of December. Christmas is the one that gets the shortest because it's not one full season, and it also takes 4 weeks out from winter, which I would continue in January 2025. And I just ended up until the week of February the 10th. I would have gotten to 16,000 stitches in winter, and that's where I left it. Of course, it will continue. And then when I'm done with those, for the Lord of the Ring part, I had planned stitching this part, which obviously is already done. I really don't know how that happened, how I entered this within my yearly goals before the Hobbit seasons. I'm not sure. But I wanted this because it's, you see the Shire, then you have Professor Tolkien's notes, the writing, pen, feather, his pipe. So it's just going back to the Shire now to start Lord of the Rings. That's how I interpreted it, so that's why I included that. And then I have this Lord of the Rings, The Fellowship, which can be found at the vendor's site on Facebook. I'm gonna find that and include it here as well. And also, I don't know, afterwards, I do have Tilton Crafts a chart for Middle Earth's map. It's humongous. You get all of this detail just with 45 colors, which I think it's amazing. So I don't know if we were to do that one, a smaller one from Etsy, go big or go home. I don't know. We'll cross that stitch, as they say, when we get there. So we'll check on that. That's for cross stitching. And then for crocheting and knitting, for the Hobbit, for crochet, I started with crocheting a blanket. It's the first part of the book. I'll include it here, first page, so to say. And for this, I am using just regular acrylic yarn I can find here in kind of like a creamish color. You know, when I read a book, I prefer creamish, especially when I read on Kindle. And this kind of like Oxford grayish bluish for the letters. So I did the rescheduling, the replanning, thinking of starting from the start on October the 23rd in that week, but I had already done some, so I'm pretty much in schedule, so to say, with this. So here in parts, so I already did the first 3 lines. That's where I'm at, in a hole in the ground, early to Hobbit, not a nasty, dirty, wet hole. And I don't know if I continuously working on this. Maybe when I'm done, I will know this by heart. So yeah, that's it. I'm really, I don't know, because my bed and my mom's bed, they are both, I believe it's called twin size, like the smallest one, like an individual bed. And it is almost just the right size wide. So long, I don't know if I was just indecisive where to stop where it says, and that means comfort, like the first paragraph, or just continue until the end of the pattern, or when I get to the length of the bed. I don't know. I'm still gonna decide on that. So that's for cross stitching and crocheting. Then we have other crafts, you know, crafty things, puzzles, video games. I'm not that much of a gamer, but I may try something like that. If any of you has any other idea related to Tolkien, there's a place here in my country which is called Hobbiton. It's like all Hobbitshire theme. I have never been there, and maybe I will go there. Maybe, I don't know, I was thinking to celebrate my birthday, which is very close to Hobbit Day anyways, so maybe I will do that. I don't know. Those are other plans, and I don't know, I guess that's what I had to tell about that. And yes, we'll have a different theme or main theme for next year, and I hope that within maybe the next 2 weeks or so I will be telling you also what that theme will be, what the plans kind of are. I'll try not to bite too much, especially because we will be having live talking in the background. So thank you if you've stayed this long. Hopefully you found something that interests you. If you're doing anything Tolkien related or anything craft related that you would like to share with us, we can connect. I'll be happy to do so. I'm gonna be sharing my Instagram handle also here, right? And in the meantime, take care, hugs, and God bless. See you soon. Bye bye.